The anger iceberg is a great example of how anger is a secondary emotion. So a lot of times we'll experience guilt, we'll experience overwhelmed feelings, stress, embarrassment, rejection. All these things take place before we actually get to the anger. So, it's important to know that anger isn't the end all be all of what you're feeling at that moment. Typically, if you think of an iceberg, when you approach an iceberg, you only see a small portion of it above the waterline. But beneath the surface is so much. It's so vast, big, huge glacier. So, anger is a lot like that. Often it's, you know, anger, but underneath of it, maybe you're embarrassed about something. Maybe somebody like disrespected you or belittled you in front of someone else. And now your ego's activated and now you're ready to react and respond. So when you're thinking about evolving through your anger, think about how your anger is reflective of other emotional states. So now let's take it a step further, okay? There's a lot of research out there that energetically has measured our brainwave patterns when we're in certain emotional states. So, here we go in the image that you can see here in the video. The lowest vibratory emotion that we can experience is shame. And shame is at that place where we really just don't like ourselves. We feel like this is it, that we're helpless, we can't do anything better, that we're not good enough, that we've messed up so bad that we cannot turn around from it. So you're in that place of shame, right? And over top of that, that blankets that is that guilt. And that guilt's, maybe about at a 30. So, the guilt is, man, I messed up so bad, and what are people going to think about me? I'm so bad. And then apathy is when we're trying to come out of that guilt. So you're kind of like, oh, blah, I'm helpless. Life is what it is. And you just feel really apathetic about things, like you don't care. Like, so what? Whatever. If they want to do whatever to me, just let them. And that's apathy. But then when you're coming out of that, now you're starting to grieve. Now you're at that place where you're like, man, I lost something and I'm sad and I'm depressed and I'm down, right? And then when you come out of that, now you're in the fear zone. So after you get out of the depression, because I always describe depression on one end, anxiety on the other, right? So depression is on one end, and it's saying, man, our past is so bad, and look at how bad everything was in the past. And anxiety is saying, oh, I'm so scared of what could happen in my future. Oh no, I don't want bad things to happen in my future, so I'm nervous and I'm scared. So after you come out of that depression, now you're in that anxiety phase where you're feeling fear, you're feeling maybe like really like codependent on people, where you need them to validate you or to give you the love that you not quite know how to give yourself at that time. And there's that neediness there, right? And that desire is huge. So when we're in that place of desire, it's like, I want, I want, I want, I need, I want, right? But then after you come out of that, now you're angry. You're angry that you went through all that pain. You're angry that, maybe you're not getting treated the way you want. Maybe things didn't go well in your past. Maybe, you feel your future is uncertain, right? So now you're in that place of anger. And that's what makes you mad, because you're like, man, I feel threatened. I feel attacked. I feel like there's an injustice here. I don't feel safe. All these emotions trigger us to feel, anger. And really, what's underneath of that anger is those feelings of desire, those feelings of grief or guilt or shame. So, anger is not the worst possible thing you could experience or feel. Anger means that you want more for yourself. Anger means that you're at that place where you're ready to make a different choice. Now, what we do with that anger is what either takes us up the scale or down. If you take your anger to a place of, oh, I'm such a bad person, now you're back in the guilt and the shame, and it doesn't feel good. and you're beating yourself up for things you haven't done or didn't do good enough in your mind. And that's not a good place to be. But if you're back at the angry place again, then you have a choice. You could go up the scale. You could be courageous. You can take notice of your pride. Pride, if you too much pride can, mess up relationships where if you're not connecting with people and it's all about you, well, that's not a good thing. But if you take your pride to a place where I know who I am and I know what I stand for and I know what I value and I know the things I desire for my future and I'm not scared of those things because I know that I have a foundation, then you can be courageous. And then once you reach that place of courage, you could try new things and be willing to exert your energy and to explore and to adventure and to brainstorm, right? So now you have that courage. You're thinking of things more neutrally because you're willing to do that work and you're willing to see things in different ways that don't feel all bad, you know? So now that you have that neutrality there, it doesn't feel as bad. And now your mood is better. And now you actually have the ability to accept things for as they are. There's a lot of power in acceptance, y'all. If you could just radically accept a situation you don't like for what it is, there's so much freedom. And that's what really forgiveness is about, is being able to accept it and say, you know what, I'm releasing this. I'm letting it go so that I can choose me and choose my health and choose my spiritual well being, right? So now that you can accept, you can reason and strategically plan logically. And once you can do that, now there's love. There's love in your life because you're accepting of yourself, you're willing, you're reasoning, you're not in that place where you're beating yourself up every 5 minutes, and you have more freedom to really experience life in a way that serves you, because all that negativity is not going to serve you in the long run, right? So now that you have love and joy and peace, now you really can be enlightened. A lot of times they say that enlightenment is not for the majority. They say that enlightenment is only for Gandhi or Mother Teresa or these notable characters in our history. But really, enlightenment is when you reach that place of spiritual peace where you can hold your peace in tumultuous situations and really connect with people and not be fearful to do so. That's true enlightenment. When you're not caught up on, yeah, materialism is great, resources, we need them so that we can serve others, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when we can really understand what really makes our heart sing and what really resonates with us, and we can hold our peace and continue to grow and build upon ourselves spiritually, that's enlightenment. So I hope that you got something from this today. Think of your anger as a secondary emotion. There's a lot underneath the waterline. And as soon as you are aware of what that is, you can move yourself up that scale and find that love and joy that you're looking for. So we love you. Day 7, evolve through your anger. Myers Life.
You know I want the love. You know you need the love. You know we want the love. You know I want the love. You know we need the love. You know I got the love. Man, can you feel the love? Can you feel the love? You know I give you love. You know we giving love. You know we need your love. Mas life. Mas life. Yeah, check out the new merch. Get your family dripped up and draped out in the new merch. Ah, yeah. That drip is here. That drip is here. That drip is here. That drip is here. The source, the drip is here. The son of source shorts, man, that drip is here. We got the leggings for the lady drip. It's here. We got the leggings for the lady drip. It's here. The son of source shirts. The drip is here. The son of source shirts. The drip is here. Source's brain shirts. Man, that shirt is so tight. Man, that shirt is so tight. Don't mess up my vibe. Don't mess up my vibe. That shirt is so live. Man, don't mess up my vibe. You can see the vibrations on the front. You can raise your vibrations on the front. You ain't gotta worry about it. You can get some socks. You can get some socks. You can get some socks. The drip is so live. The drip is so live. Don't mess up my vibe. Don't mess up my vibe. Mine's life. Mine's life. The drip is so vibe. The drip is so live. The drip is so live. Don't mess up my vibe, man. That shirt is so live. The son of source shirt. The son of source shirt. Man, that shirt's so live. Man, that shirt's so live. Don't mess up my vibe. Don't mess up my vibe. The merch is here. The merch is here. Mine's life, man. That merch is here. Man, get your shirt. Get your shirt. Get your shirt. Get your shirt. Man, don't mess up my vibe. That shirt is so live. Don't mess up my vibe. That shirt is so live. Get some socks. Get some socks. You can get a dog shirt. You can get your dog shirt. You can get your dog shirt. That messed up my vibe. Man, that shirt is so live. Don't mess up my vibe. That shirt is so live. Son of source, son of source, son of source, son of southern source, son of southern source. The source healing center shirt. Mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. Let your family get draped up in the drape. Let your family get dripped in the drape. Hey, that shirt is so live. Don't mess up my vibes, mine's life. The merch is here. The merch is here. The merch is here. Hey.